Welcome to month 13, or month 1 of year 2. This is the first repeat month, so I went ahead and added the year to all the previous titles. But this was a pretty insane month actually. A lot of notable things to mention. Still no attempt past 80%. I did almost double my attempts past 65%, going from 23 on May 1st to 42 by the end of the month. Which honestly says less about my consistency as it does about how hard the second drop is for me. Since, as I said, I still couldn't even get back to 80% despite all of those opportunities. I'll get into that later, but in May I got up to 296,000 attempts in 21 streams. So let's just get into it. May 1st was the birthday of this verification, so despite not feeling that great to play, I kinda had to. I still got a 60% run though. Towards the end of April, I was really good at Greafer, and I knew I would finally get my chance at passing it again within the next few attempts at 65, which at this point I hadn't even passed the part in over 3 months. And off stream, before stream 218, I got my first tacos attempt since January. Of course, I didn't get to 80%. Instead, I died at 79% right at the beginning of the wave. Surprisingly, it didn't hurt that much, since I knew all I really needed was this confidence boost at Greafer. And surely that would give me plenty of opportunities to pass 80% anyway, so I wasn't really worried. But the death began to disappoint me more and more as the month went by, as I would pile on more and more Greafer deaths. On stream 218, I died at 68%. On stream 222 and 223, I died at 67%. On stream 226, I died at 68%. On stream 229, I died at 68% and 69%. And on stream 232, wait, okay, let's pause for a second. So yeah, you'll notice that these Greafer attempts were all pretty spread apart, and this was a bit annoying because I know I still need to get at least one Greafer attempt every day if I want to beat this, but I can't seem to ever do that. It's been like that for the past few months. It's a bit better this month because on the days that I didn't get to 65%, I was at least getting past 50% for the most part, and many times getting a Burgadaz attempt. Throughout those streams, there were some notable achievements that I missed, so I'll mention them here. On the same day that I got 79% off stream, I got 17 to 92, tying my best run from 17. I feel like one day I'll just randomly get 17 to 100, because I really felt like I could actually do it here, I just didn't. On stream 220, I got my second 35 to 100 run, and I guess I was popping off with runs around this time, because on stream 223 and 224, I would get this lineup of runs. 2 runs from 17 that made it past the tacos wave, a 44 to 100, a 49 to 100, and some other standard runs. It was looking pretty good. I just needed to improve my confidence from 0, because on stream 224, my best was 50%, despite getting to the drop a record-breaking amount of times in one day. My previous best was 13 back in February, and on this stream I got 14. It's like a classic trope of this verification, so I can't say I'm surprised anymore. If you don't know what I'm talking about, whenever I get a crazy number of drop attempts in one day, my best for that stream is always like stupidly low. You would think more drop attempts would give me more opportunities to get far, but I guess it's some weird way that my brain works where I compensate for that by playing worse. It's really annoying. Literally every time I would get a lot of drop attempts, this trend would repeat itself, and I would actually get 5 separate streams in the month that had more drop attempts than my previous record. And for the entire month, I had exactly 200 drop attempts. This is by far my most in one month, and it's because of my insane consistency with the pre-drop. On stream 226, I would break my drop attempt record again, getting 15. My best this stream was 68%, so I guess it wasn't a complete waste. But still, it was only one Greafer attempt, which it should have been more. 2 streams later, on 228, I got 15 drop attempts again, with my best being 60%. So there it is again. So that's what I mean by a million drop attempts and I get nowhere. Stream 231 was really insane because I broke my drop attempt record yet again, and you might think I got 16 or something based on the trend so far, but I ended up getting 21 drop attempts in one day. This stream, I just had like super consistency with the pre-drop or something. But my best from 0 was 63%. I didn't even make it to Greafer with 20 whole drop attempts in one day. You gotta just laugh at that point. I mean, that's just crazy. I said this stream was crazy and we're not done yet. I got another 35 to 100 run, and that would actually be my 4th 35 to 100. I got my 3rd on stream 227. So I'm somehow hitting that run pretty consistently now. That still isn't the craziest part though, because something wild would happen when I started playing from 65%. At the start of this verification, the 65 to 100 run was its own milestone, and a pretty big achievement when I finally did it for the first time on May 27th, 2024. This is the hardest part of the level, but a year later, it's just my everyday standard run pretty much. Right now, I'm up to over 100 of them in total. To get to the point though, I did this run 3 times in a row. No, it's literally just luck, bro. I don't think there's a single death in between. Bro. Maybe I'm making it a little bit dramatic, but to remind you, this run alone is probably around top 20 difficulty. So this was a pretty crazy stream, I mean, but somehow it would be topped on the following stream. Stream 232.
Two top ones in one day, bro.
There's way too much pressure, and I don't do well under pressure. But we're gonna try.
Fucking ah!
Bro, actually, what the fuck? What is this consistency? Oh my fuck. Oh my god! How am I getting 5 Greafer attempts in a fucking day? Oh my god. Stream 232 was by far my best Greafer stream of all time. The amount of suspense and pressure going into the stream really had me kind of nervous and doubting myself. This might be a depressing stream. And even though I didn't pass 80%, I can't say I'm disappointed with my performance. I got to the second drop 6 times, with 19 total drop attempts as well, a grenade of tacos attempt, and 10,000 live viewers all watching it happen. This entire day just felt like I was living in a dream. I feel like I put literally everything I had into this one day. I tried so hard to pass 80%, and realistically I should have done it multiple times. I had 3 opportunities past 68%, and at least one of them should have been the one, especially the one that made it to tacos. That 76% death was so depressing to look back on, because it really should have been the one. It's one of those things that you should just never die to, and now is the worst time to do it. When I see stuff like that happen so many times, it's just like, it makes me feel like I've gotten so unlucky in the past 6 months that I've been stuck at 80%. Considering all the opportunities I've had, the chances of me having 80% and only a single time should be basically impossible. I now have 42 attempts past 65%, and only 14 of them have made it past 68%. In other words, the first 3% of the second drop has killed me almost every single time I've gotten to it. 28 times to be exact. I've died to something just in this red circle 20 times. Bro, alright, I'll cut my monthly Greafer rant short this time. But after stream 232, I had 3 more Greafer attempts for the rest of the month, all dying at 68%, unsurprisingly. But I wasn't able to get literally anywhere most of the time. On stream 235, my best attempt was 41%, with only 2 drop attempts, and that was kind of the vibe for the end of May. And if you're wondering why this happened to me, I'm wondering the same thing. I'm really fucking tired of having such sporadic consistency like this, but I guess that's just what comes with the gift of being Doggie. So yeah, unfortunately it didn't really end on a good note, and I now have 80% for 100 streams. I'm not even gonna say that I'll finally pass it this month, because it's really just down to luck, I feel like. One day I'll just pass it and be done with it. Alright, let's go over the buffs, because there were a few this month once again. I actually made some buffs to the first part this month. I moved this saw at 1% up a little bit, and now it's a 120 FPS frame perfect, even though I still never died of it. It's not really that hard, so don't worry. At 10% after the spam, I made this spike gap a bit tighter because it was pretty free before. I also buffed Triplash, which is another part I haven't touched in a while. I added spikes to the upper slope at 27%, and I also moved the bottom slopes at 29% up a few steps as well. This saw here was also added by Ice Cave. Okay, you guys are not gonna believe this, but the next change is actually a nerf. Last month, at the 53% duel, I buffed the jumps by moving these flat spikes right 1 step, and this month, I moved them back half a step. So it's still a net buff, but not as much as it used to be. Lastly, at Grenade of Tacos at 84%, I added a small saw here so that you couldn't cheese the click pattern, and now you're forced to do it like Doggie. Alright, that's it for May. I was pretty optimistic going into this month. and it did turn out going pretty well. Maybe being a little bit carried by streams 232, but I also had a lot of good other streams. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'm not even gonna set goals anymore because it's pretty much just to pass 80%. For June, it's not looking great, but you never know. Just as the random inconsistency wall hits me when things are looking good, maybe the random consistency wall will hit me when things are looking bad. I don't know, not like that's ever happened in my life, so I really don't even know whether to be optimistic or not right now. But let's just end the video. I think we should do that. Goodbye.